Okay, welcome to Rocket Series, and we'll meet at the tops of our mats in Samastitihi. Bring your feet together, let your arms hang long to the side. Close your eyes and start to activate the Ujjaya Pranayama. A slight restriction on the back of the throat. The inhale, the exhale through the nose. And with your eyes closed, go inside the physical body. And even though we practice with our eyes open, there's still an awareness to what's happening on the inside. So as you open your eyes, keep a sensitivity to the inner body. Surya Namaskara A, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step walk, float back, low push-up. Drag your pelvis to your wrists, look up. Slide back, downward facing dog. So you might want to move the dog, shake the hips, crack the toes. But immediately finding a gazing point upward, so toward the knees or the belly. Hollow your belly, eyes forward, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Stretch tall, reach up. Release your arms. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step walk, float back, eyes forward, low push-up. Roll over the toes, lift the chest. Slide back, downward dog. So we want to be really certain that we're not going through our days in a daze. We want to make sure that we're not on autopilot when moving. So right now, attempt to rip the mat in the center by pulling the hands and the feet apart. Feel the whole outline of the body start to activate. Eyes forward, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Stretch tall, reach up. Release your arms. One more up. Fold in, let your neck be soft. Lift your heart. Step walk, pounce back, low push-up. Roll over the toes, lift the chest. Slide back, down dog, land. Take a peek at the arches of the feet and ensure there's an engagement. Lift your toes up, fan them. Hollow your belly, eyes forward, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Fold in. Stand tall, reach up. Release the arms. Surya B, bending into the knees, reach up. Fold in, forehead to shins. Lengthen. Step walk, pounce back, low push-up. Ride the inhale, chin up. Slide back. The right foot steps, a big inhale lifts us up. Takes us down, bottom low, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho. Left foot steps. Lunge, lift, rise. Hands plant, hips low, Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha over the toes. Adho Mukha, slide back. Option to stay, to take child's pose, to drop on the forearms for dolphin, or go upside down, Pincha Mayurasana. So regardless of the choice of posture, bring your awareness again to that sensation of the inner body. Your breath, could be your legs, could be the expression on the face. If you're upside down, sit back. We'll take a moment in child's. Rest your forehead. Let the rigor, the enthusiasm fade. Come back to neutral. Rise up all fours. Down dog back. Eyes forward, top of the mat. Lift your sternum. Fold in. Sit low, arms up. Samastitihi. Utkatasana, bend the knees. Uttanasana, fold in. Ardha Uttanasana. Chaturanga Dandasana, sail back to lower. Urdhva, stretch the front line. Adho, back. Right foot steps, Vira A, enter. Chaturanga Dandasana, hands plant, back to lower. Urdhva Mukha, chin up. Adho Mukha, slide back. Left foot steps, Vira A, enter. Chaturanga Dandasana, back to lower. Drag it up, lift your chest. Slide back, down dog. So a friend of mine is a pretty high-level hockey player, and he said one of the sayings he learned at a young age was don't get too high in the highs and don't get too low in the lows. Meaning if you're 2 goals ahead, you're not going to celebrate and already assume you've won. And likewise, if you're 2 goals down, you're not going to assume that you've lost. So the yoga practice is a little the same. There is this quality of neutrality. We do our very best, whether we are riding a high or a low. Eyes forward, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Fold in. Sit low, palms kiss. Samastitihi. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. Uttanasana, melt forward. Ardha, lengthen. Step walk, float back, lower. Urdhva, stretch the belly, lift the heart. Slide back. The right foot steps, Vira A, enter. Chaturanga Dandasana, palms down, back to lower. Urdhva up. Adho back. Left foot steps, Vira A comes up. Down, palms plant, back and lower. Urdhva stretches the belly. Adho slides you back. Option to stay, child's pose, or a handstand. Regardless of the shape, the breath stays full. If you're upside down, sit back, child's. Take a moment Notice the after effects of chaos, of movement, of hard work. Come back to neutral. Inhale, all fours. Down dog, back. Eyes forward, top of the mat. Lift the heart. Fold in half. Sit on your throne, stay here. Rest your belly on your thighs, intertwine your fingers, send the palms forward. Take a peek at your toes, lift all 10 of the toes up, lower the big toe, pinky toe, other 3 lifted like a lotus flower. Bring your hands to the earth, Bakasana, crow, or a little squat. For some of you, you might rest your head down, you might lower the feet down. Some of you might sail up into a little handstand. And then pull your energy at the bottom of your heart, step walk, float back, lower. Stretch it up. Glide back. The right foot steps, warrior 1, enter, land, and stay. Look for as much ease in the face and the shoulders as possible. Open wide, Virabhadrasana B, warrior 2, eyes over that right middle finger. Straighten your front leg, heel toe the back foot in for Trikonasana, hinge. Take the shin, take the big toe. That left arm is up, eyes set. So this is a really subtle action, but pay attention to the low ribs and tuck the low ribs together without pulling and rounding the shoulders forward. The eyes come down, the hands come down, square the hips. Take the left hand to the pinky toe edge, right hand to the small of the back. Maybe crack it open and take your right arm up. Parvrita Trikonasana, twisted triangle, because I know that you know that you're twisted. Eyes down, half moon, right foot, right hand, go up. You could catch a hip, you could catch an ankle. If you've done this pose more than 10 times, eyes up. And then begin to awaken the pelvic floor. If it's gotten a bit sleepy, lift up. Untangle the bind and gently step back, extended side angle. Take the right hand inside the right foot. Some of you might like to bind, threading the left hand down the back. Some of you might like to step forward in Birds of Paradise. Regardless of the shape, there's that quality of ease in the face, sweetness in the breath. If you're flying, step down, step back. Untangle the bind, hands down, drop your back knee. Reach your left arm up, hook it over, hands to prayer, unless you'd like to tangle the hands up in a bind. So if you like revolved standing Birds of Paradise, You could step forward with this bind and point that right sole of the foot forward. If you're flying, step down, step back. Untangle the bind for side plank on the left. You might catch the right toe and reach yourself high. We're going to turn this into a flipped dog and maybe a full wheel. So take the top leg, step it behind. Maybe you stop there. Maybe you bend your left arm to lower the right hand. Flip your hands to end up in Urdhva Dhanurasana, full wheel. Again, take it or leave it. And then wherever you are, pull yourself through neutral and release your foot. Take a moment, a little check-in. How's my breath, my attention, my flow? Step your left foot forward, Vira A, enter the pose. Enter it clean, enter it safe, but don't give the option to stumble, to stutter. There should be no insecurity. Don't let the highs get too high. Don't let the lows get too low. It doesn't mean we don't celebrate. We just aren't attached, obsessed. Crack it open, Vira B, gaze over the left middle finger. Go a little bit lower than you typically do, just out of curiosity for more excitement in life. Can't we use just a little more excitement? Straighten your front leg, heel toe the back foot in, Trikonasana, hinge, triangle. Your gaze is to that right fingernail, the low ribs tuck, the back body buoyant. The eyes come down, the hands come down, square the hips. Parvrita Trikonasana, take your right hand to the earth or a block. A quick little moment to check the low back. Pivot, twist the top arm. So navigating this next transition from the abdomen. So connect with your low belly, then eyes down, Ardha Chandrasana, go up. So if there's an added step, a toe touch there, let's alleviate it. Let's remove it, destroy it, because it isn't necessary anymore. Super gently step back, extended side angle. Take the left hand inside the left foot. Perhaps you tangle your arms behind your back for a bind. Maybe you step forward to fly. Big, long exhales, gorgeous, rosy, nice Tate. If you're flying, step down, step back. Untangling the arms, hands down, drop the back knee, Parvrita Parsvottanasana. Right arm stretches up. Hook it over, hands to prayer, unless you wish to bind the arms. So link the breath with the movement. What I mean by that is inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. If you stood up last time, perhaps you do that again. If you're flying, step down, step back. If the arms are tangled, untangle for side plank on the right. You might catch your left toe explode upwards. And then we'll turn this into a flipped dog. Release the foot in the sky down. Maybe you stop there. Maybe you bend the right elbow to lower the left hand and then the right into Urdhva Dhanurasana, full wheel. If your dog is flipped, pull it through center and release your foot. Drop down onto the knees, option 1, child's, option 2, dolphin, option 3, Pinchamayurasana, forearm. So it's so cheesy, but so true, that it's not about the destination, it's the space in between. It's all the moments that we kick up and fall, the days we don't try, the days we try too hard, and it's just the person you're becoming every day on the mat. If you're upside down, sit back, rest your head, let it settle. So you see how wild the practice is. There's highs and there's lows naturally. There's big poses and sweet ones. But there's a part of us that stays calm, at ease, regardless of the posture. Rise up all fours. Down dog, back. Walk your hands back to your feet, Padangustasana, catch your big toes, look up. Fold in half, widen the thighs, let your spine get like extra weight. Imagine it's made of very heavy metal. There's an internal rotation of the upper femur bones, and then the head is like nothing, it's floating there. So just make sure there's no tension. Inhale to lengthen. Bend your knees and slide your hands under your feet. Padahastasana, lengthen. Drop down, close, let go. Tuck the low ribs. Drop the head. I always laughed. One of you says this next pose makes you feel humiliated. So we'll do it for you. Inhale, lift the heart, and meet me in a little squat. So you could also get your way to the top any way you like. Otherwise, we're gonna take 3 humiliating froggy jumps to the top. Plant the palms, hop 1. Plant the palms, hop 2, like a little gecko, hop up 3. Inhale, lengthen. Fold in. Reach up, quads up, look up. Release your arms. Take a step out with your right foot, pigeon toe the feet, Prasarita A, catch the waist, look up. Exhale, fold, hands down. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. If you want to go upside down, you are permitted to. So just so we're clear, in Ashtanga yoga, if you ever went upside down in a Mysore room or a class, you would get into a lot of trouble. So that's the beauty of Rocket, is we get some freedom. put them down. Big inhale to lengthen. Catch your waist. Stand up. See the arms float open. Intertwine the fingers. Lift your chest. Squeeze the palms together and go forward. A big inhale stands you up. The arms float open. D, catch the waist. Lift the chest, hands slide down the legs, catch the big toes. Look up, fold in. So we talked yesterday about this mudra between the hands and the toes. Make it really balanced. So who's stronger, the legs or the arms? And then based on that, who needs to put more effort in and who needs to back off? Inhale, lengthen. Release your hands for middle splits or frog pose. So you could bend at the knee joint, make it a 90-degree angle. You could take your legs wide apart. And then slowly rising up, and we'll pivot to face the right leg for Hanuman. You could split it half, or you could split it full. You've likely heard the tale of a student asking a master, like, what's the difference between being a master and being a student? And the master says, well, we cook dinner, we wash the dishes, we walk. And the student says, well, I cook dinner, I wash the dishes, I walk. And the master says, the difference is that when I'm washing the dishes, I'm only washing the dishes. When I walk, I'm only walking. There's no multitasking. Take a lunge back into that front knee and then pivot to face the left. Drop the right, take a half, take a full, and then melt forward. So what if we started to play with the pelvic floor in this posture, attempting to get a little more interested, perhaps more balance? Maybe more intention into the leg that's been forgotten. For me, it's the back leg that sometimes gets left out. Take a lunge into that front knee and take a big step to the top. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Stand up, reach up. Release the arms for Ballerina Pose. So I'll give you many options. Feet hip distance, you'll be on the left. Option 1, take your right heel with your right hand and take your knee wide. Option 2, straighten the leg, take it wide. Option whatever, catch the foot, reach the leg up overhead. And then pulling it all the way through center and release the pose. Other side, lift your left leg up, catch your heel, so in line of the leg. Some of you might be able to straighten it, Some of you might be able to straighten it and lift it right up toward the ceiling so the sole of your foot is facing your roof, your ceiling. Nicely done. Pull the leg through center. Release. Natrajasana, dancer's pose. Any variation, if you have a strap and you'd like to do that, do that. If you have a mermaid bind, do that. You'll be on your left leg. Kick your back leg back. So these two standing poses show up in third series. Find an imperfection on an imperfection on an imperfection for your eyes. Tighten your bow and release your pose. Other side, bend the knee, catch the ankle, kick your foot, bow, dancers. And release the posture. Samastitihi. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lengthen. Step walk, fly back, low push-up. Drag it up, lift the heart. Take it back. So we'll take two side crows. Some of you might do it from headstand, otherwise top of the mat. Pivot your knees to face the right, and then take your right elbow as close to the left hip and pick it up. So it's either bent legs or straight legs. 3. Buoyant, equal shoulders. 2. 1. Release the feet or to the head. Pivot the knees, Parsvabhakasana, side crow, pick it up. Bent knees, straight legs. 3. Up dog the heart, lift the hips. 2. 1. Release the feet, knees through center. Lengthen. Fold. Lengthen. Step walk, fly back, low push up. Stretch the abdomen, heart up. Slide back. Step walk, float to the top or from the head. Ekapada Kundinasana B. Pivot your knees to the right. Hook your right elbow close to the left hip. Pick it up, but this time you could splay the legs. 3. Maybe you pull them back through neutral, they touch, and then widen again. Release the pose. Other side. Pivot, twist. Don't get low when you have lows. Don't get too high. On the highs, fly. 3. 2. 1. Release the pose, knees through center, lengthen. Fold. You might hang out here or lengthen. Step walk, float back, lower. Drag it up, lift the heart. Take it back. So you could enter this from headstand, but I'm gonna give an option of an add-on. So you might drop to the knees or just meet me at the top. So you can take a little squat as I show you. So option 1 will be figure 4. Option 2 will take flying pigeon with the option to take the leg in the sky, TT Bassana. And then you can lift it up. You could even pop it into a one-legged crow before we switch sides. So wherever you're at, meet me at the top or headstand, Utkatasana. Bring your hands to your heart. You'll be on your left leg. Cross the right shin over. Option to stay just like that. Or plant the palms, wrap the foot, lift up for flight. And if you're with me, you could take the leg in the sky, sweep it forward, lower your bum. Maybe sweep it back up, maybe transition into a one-legged crow. And then everyone, release, Utkatasana. Other side. Take your left leg, cross it over, maybe that's perfect. Some of you might bring the hands to the earth. Some of you might fly. And if you're flying, maybe you sweep the leg in the sky forward like Titi-Basan. And then maybe you send it up. And maybe you do a little transition to one-legged. Then everyone release and fold. Lengthen. Fold. One more time, lengthen. Step walk, float back, lower. Drag it forward, lift the heart. Take it back. Come all the way through to a seat. Crown Chasana, Erin. Right leg back, move the meat. Round the pelvis. Catch the thigh, the ankle, the foot. Bow in. So there's a subtle scissor action that pulls the right knee through center, pulls the left heel through center. They don't cross over one another, but there is a tendency for them to splay too far apart. Inhale, lengthen. Release the pose straight into Ashtavakrasana. Take the right leg forward. And you may just rock the hip gently side to side. Again, this is just a yoga pose. Let's stay as neutral as possible. Hook the knee. When you're doing the dishes, do the dishes. When you're opening the hip, open the hip. When you're flying, fly. Lift it up, beautiful, Rach. 3, 2, 1. You could vinyasa or just extend those legs out in front and take a moment. Opposite side. Crown Chasana. Take the left leg, tuck it back. Round the pelvis. So this is the second pose in second series. You could catch the ankle. You could grab the foot. Remember the crisscross applesauce thing that happens in the legs? Now for some of you that cue won't really be relevant. I find in my body though, it's still really relevant. Lift up out of your pelvis like I had you by your ribs and was pulling you. Releasing the shape and straight into Ashta. Extend that right leg. Lift your left leg up, rock the hip. And that could be as far as you go. It's a good option. Some of you might catch the knee, cross the feet, pick it up, legs to the side. 3, 2, 1. Vinyasa, everyone. Meet me in downward dog. So we're going to take a couple symmetric back bends and then go asymmetric. Shift your weight forward, high plank, and come to your tummy. Point your toes. Tops of the hands on the earth. Lift the chest, lift the legs. Everything stays up. The only thing that changes is your hand position, which anchors into the ground and elbows squeeze together. You might find you get an inch higher. 3, 2, 1, and release cheek to one side. Perhaps there's a vinyasa. Maybe we just chill. all the way to the belly, eyes forward, Bakasana frog. Let your feet flop out and reach back for the feet. That might be as far as you go. This is an interesting shape. Otherwise, you'll lift your heart and slide your hands so fingers track toes. Lift up nice and high, work your heels to the ground outside the glutes. Chin up, give me more. 3, 2, 1, and release. Cheek to the other side unless you wish to vinyasa. One more back bend from our bellies. Bend your knees, catch your ankles. Lift all the way up. So we're just going bow, kick back. Legs really high, touch your big toes together. So we did this in dancer's pose. Ears back, tailbone down, legs higher. And release. Push up, downward dog. Child's pose or headstand crow back to headstand. If you're working a lotus, do that. But you could take child's, you could also pop up onto the head. Tangle the legs into either a diamond shape or a lotus shape. Could touch the knees on the backs of the arms, lift it up. And then we'll vinyasa, shoot them back, ride it up, downward dog, everyone. Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, King Pigeon. Lift your right leg up and sweep it through. Many options. Option to fold. You could even do the Bakasana foot. So you could sit to the right hip, bend your leg and take a frog foot. You could take your bottom foot and pick it up, as Kitty Cat coined it, Rice Krispie Pigeon, because the knees, they sound like you've added milk and they're speaking to you. That actually creeped me out, that commercial. Touch the feet together or take your back bend. And then releasing the legs. So the option, eyes to me, you could just step back down dog, or you could lower your head, take a one-legged crow headstand, pick up the head, shoot the legs back, or down dog. Lift your left leg up. Sweep it through. The options are to fold, to lean back. You could catch the ankle like a dancer bind. You could take a frog grip. You could pick the bottom foot up, Rice Krispie, opera singing, aerial mermaid posture. Releasing the bind. Again, you could step back or you could take a headstand and put your left knee on your left elbow, pick it up for a one-legged crow, vinyasa back. Lexi ate her Rice Krispies this morning. Drop down onto the knees, camel, and there's 2 of these. Take your tailbone forward, squeeze your scapula together, your shoulder blades together. Drop your head. Drop your eyes. It's a kind of a weird cue, Erin. Drop my eyes. 3, 2, 1. All the way up. It's a child's pose or it's a handstand. So you decide, take your pose, as Madonna would say, strike a pose. And I mean that too, you know. I don't mean move around like a belly dancer. If you're upside down, sit back. Very nice, deep. Last one, Ustrasana camel. Take the tailbone forward, like the tailbone becomes a tail. And you're a little dog that's embarrassed with their tail between their legs. Go back. 5. And all the way up. It's a vinyasa. It's a down dog, or eyes forward through to a seat. So something I want to suggest, we're going to move into 3 more back bends, but if you have difficulty straightening your arms, one option would be to put your feet on like a table, a couch, a chair. And I'm going to demo with my wall, but pretend it's a chair. So I sneak in here, I put my feet on the chair so they're stable, and then you're going to rise up. It'll be a little bit easier on a chair so that you're getting a back bend. So you've got your feet on the chair, imagine that, and the arms could be straight. Whatever you want, little bridge, full wheel, set yourself up. You might like blocks under your hands. Go all the way up. Little bridge, full wheel, and you could even have your hands against the wall. But if you feel a supreme limitation, create space for that. Lex, that's gorgeous. Very nice, Tate. 3. Yeah, Ren. 2. 1, come down, stunning. Take a beat. And all the way back up, little bridge, full wheel, let's do this. Don't let the highs get too high, don't let the lows get too low, go. This is training ground for life, up. Yeah, Lex, stack your shoulders over your wrists. 3. 2, 1, come down. And some of you might like to take a headstand base back bend from there and then do a Dvipada jump over. So little bridge, full wheel, last one, go up. So if you're up in your full wheel, you might lower your head and get your headstand base, elbows nice and tight. If you're there, I want a couple breath, chest to me, and then maybe you jump straight into headstand. Maybe you go boom, jump straight into headstand. And come all the way down. Very nice. Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly for a moment. So we are constantly creating attraction wherever we go. And it's like what we are is what is looking for us and what we attract. So we want to follow good feelings. We want to follow what brings us peace and joy and excitement. And we a little bit want to turn away from stuff that takes us down places we don't want to go. Intertwine your fingers behind your head, lift and lower. And the reason I mention that is because our practice is so crazy that you will definitely have poses that your body doesn't love. But one day, it becomes really neutral. And it feels pretty good regardless of the shape, the day, even during injuries. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs up, leg lifts. You could put your hands under your hips or they could rest by your sides. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nicely done. Bring your knees to your belly. Give yourself a hug. Rock all the way up for a gentle forward bend. I know I just put a fire in your belly and we're not going to stretch it, so let the torso fall. Clear the back bends. Let it all fall away. Rising all the way up, either taking a vinyasa or just set yourself up in a seat for our last 3 poses, which will be done cross-legged or with a full Padmasana. If you'd prefer an inversion, go ahead, do that, a headstand or a shoulder stand. So this little tiny package, it's cross-legged, it's half lotus, it's whatever, but try to make it really small. One of the superpowers of a yogi is to become so minute. Reach your hands behind your back, opposite elbows, unless you can tip forward and catch the toes. Big inhale lifts the chest and folds you in. Rising up, extend the arms, touch the thumb, the first finger together. Soften your face. When you're sitting for meditation, sit for meditation. When you're laughing, laugh. When you're reading, read. One point of focus, eka tattva, one truth. There's only one capital T truth. Open your eyes, press your palms down into the earth, lift it up, protract the shoulders, send your eyes up. The idea is we want to get rid of any extra energy so that when we die, we just die. There's no fight. 10, 9, 8, 7, lift it nice and high, protract the shoulders, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your bottom, take a vinyasa and spin around to lie on your back for our beloved Shavasana. And drape your shoulders once you get there. Big inhale. One more. Let it go. The practice is dead. The past is over. And this is a really good day. Guide me to knowing my magnificence, that I will transform self-doubt into courage, denial into resolve, brittleness into fluidity, criticism into adoration, constriction into allowing, and harshness into an embrace. Make sure that I realize my greatness. Take an inhale. One more. Move your fingers, move your toes. Stretch your arms long overhead, big full body stretch. Tuck your knees towards your belly to roll to the right. And come to a seat. It's so challenging when we're in the thick of things to have space or neutrality, but we're learning to respond, not react. I said that to my girlfriend and she said, oh, I always react and then I regret. So anyway, in honor of being responsive, hands to your heart. Let's close with an Om. Take an inhale. Om. Lifting our eyes and our hearts to each other. Namaste.